Hello there, fellow summoners. Mad Dog HT here. We're going back into Book 2, Act 7.1.5. And this was a really fun path for me just because of the champs that I had. So we're going to go in with basically Guillotine 2099 and Torch for this pretty much this whole pass. So it's got terminal velocity, so the more you crit, the more power they gain, and the power gain can get nuts really fast if you're critting, but it has dulled. So if you have buffs or debuffs on the opponent, your crit rate is reduced. And so for the first fight, I'm just gonna go, and then I got Mighty Charge, and then Foresight. So if you intercept, you get a bonus. But the Mighty Charge is just, they shrug off debuffs. They don't have the Unstoppable or anything like that. So here I have a Guillotine 2099. This is my 5-star rank 5. I had recently awakened her before this path with a gem and put like 19 sig stones onto her. I don't recall if I had my Guillotine 2099 at rank 3 yet or not when I did this, and maybe if I did, she was being used in AQ or War or something. But so you can intercept, so you get that Foresight, you get that big Fury, which definitely ramps up your damage. But yeah, so if you're gonna go for a parry when they're dashing at you, make sure you got your double parry game on. Or if you got keep them tight up in the corner, you can just parry because they won't get the Mighty Charge. Guillotine 2099 doesn't crit, so she's really good for this fight. You'll just see normal power gain, and you'll just mainly want to keep Heimdall to his L1. He can auto block you, but it won't stun you. I try not to ever push Heimdall to the L2, simply because you're going to be hitting him a lot, therefore he's going to have an armor most of the time, and if he has an armor and he gets an L2 off, it's True Strike unblockable. So unless you got, I'm not even sure how you would deal with that. I know there's some champs that probably can, but yeah, regardless, keep him to the L1. And so I'm just going to build Guillotine 2099 up. It's going to be a little bit slow at the very beginning because her damage is, gimped a little bit because she doesn't have a high combo. But once she gets to 100, she's really going to start doing a good amount of damage, and the energy damage ramps up pretty quick. These guys have a lot of health. But yeah, she can definitely do this fight well. And then you just want to make sure that you end with an L3 so that you're all ramped up, ready to go for the next fight. And I think the next fight that I use her on is the War Machine. And I think it only takes like 80 hits or so, which is pretty dang good. So I'm just going to keep doing L2s until maybe I'm around 50 to 40%, and then make sure that I cap it off at an L3 so I can carry the combo over. And yeah, nothing too crazy here. Definitely I could be more aggressive and get some more intercepts in to get that Foresight Fury. I do have 6 combo charge protectors banked and ready to go. But yeah, like I could have been doing some draft back intercepts against the wall, but I'm just trying to play really safe. And yeah, Guillotine does really well for both the Heimdall and the War Machine fight. And then the other 4 fights is 2 Magnetos, the red Magneto and the white Magneto, Tigra, and an Ebony Maw. And I'm going to use Torch for those because you can put a lot of debuffs on the opponent. Basically, Torch won't ever crit, therefore terminal velocity doesn't come into play. And the Mystics, obviously, every time you block something, you build Smolder, and then both Magnetos, they have energy attacks, so you can build Smolder on them, and they just melt really fast. And we're about to finish up here, and I kind of misjudged how much damage I would be doing, And you can see, like, I think I'm just gonna take a few blocks just so mainly I can ensure that I get to that L3 and not kill him beforehand. And there we go, we got him within the 5% health bar, which basically means it's a guaranteed kill. That's with her ability, L3 guaranteed kills at 5% or less. And yeah, we carry over that combo 100 to the next fight. Took 194 hits, but really the first 100 didn't do a whole bunch. Those last 94 did a ton. So here, now we're gonna go in with Human Torch against this Magneto. Again, terminal velocity and dulled make this a good fight. Mighty Charge and Foresight. I don't know why I'm selecting Magik. I'm pretty certain. Do I use her? Oh, I do use her. I'm pretty certain I die. I didn't remember using her for this fight, but I guess I did. I think I don't do a whole bunch. Magik. I have Magik and Warlock on the team. They were originally for synergies, but really they're not going to do a whole bunch for a Guillotine. Don't know why I used Magik here. Maybe I thought I could just maybe get him down, but the Mighty Charge takes off the power lock for most of the fight. So that's not really reliable. Magik, I do get the extra damage while in limbo, and I should have been doing more like intercepts. It looks like I'm playing pretty cautious here. I thought I used Torch for all of this stuff, but maybe I was saving some of his health from chip damage. Anyways, I just use Torch. If I were to do this again, it'd be a lot faster. And I should be intercepting. Foresight, Fury, it is quite significant. You can get a whole bunch of damage, extra damage, with doing those intercepts. I'm just playing really safe, and this is probably not the most ideal fight to show, but this is what I did. Again, a lot of the fights and stuff that I upload, it's kind of as a reference. It's not always like, hey, this is like the best champ to use. You can see, like, yeah, so I've been doing a fair amount of crits throughout the fight, and Magneto's power gain outside of the power lock is quite significant. There's a lot of specials, but again, like, I like to try things out. I like to use a lot of different champs. I know that, like, there's people that just like ghost everything or whatever, which is fine. But I got a lot of champs. A lot of the champs have a lot of interesting abilities, utility that people don't really use a lot. And yeah, I just think it's fun to try to see alternatives than the typical god champions. And I know I have a lot of the good champions ranked up and whatnot, but yeah, so I mean, this fight, I'm about halfway through, but I only have a quarter of a health left. I'm definitely not gonna make it. I'm pretty certain I mess up somewhere soon. Get some intercepts in there, but you can see, like, the power gain is pretty nuts. And yeah, but you see, like, that was like a 10k non-crit on that L2. That was pretty good with the Foresight, intercept, Fury up, and the extra limbo damage, and then I missed that L2. So we're going with Torch. I think I used the pre-fight on Tigra, which I think is the next fight. Terminal velocity isn't really going to come into play because I'm just going to be doing a lot of medium light mediums, double parries, build up some smolder, and then he's going to dash in, he's going to knock off those incinerates, which isn't a big deal. If you get him over here in the corner and you kind of stay tight, those incinerates will do more damage. I'm just kind of back off. Those all expire under their normal time without Mighty Charge coming into play. But yeah, if I were to do this again, I would just go in Torch the whole way. You build up a lot of Smolder, which makes those incinerates do a ton of damage. I have a 6-star rank 3 Torch. So if you bring a 6-star, you get that extra Adrenaline Fury as well. So yeah, so we melted the rest of that Magneto, and now we have Tigra. Man, Tigra, I'm still getting used to her. Sometimes her specials catch me off guard. And, you know, Special 1 has a lot of reach across the map. Special 2, it just seems to go on forever. And yeah, but Torch is a really good option for this fight. She won't be getting a lot of extra damage. I'm like, do I use Guillotine? Do I use Torch? I think I end up using Torch without the pre-fight because I want dulled. Yeah, I do want the dulled to come into play. I don't want to be critting because I don't want to give her extra power gain. And I think for this, just kind of want to try to play a little bit slow. Let those incinerates just burn. And so I'm doing like a parry and I'm waiting out the stun before I do a medium light medium, just so that she doesn't Mighty Charge them and shrug them off sooner. I do get tagged right there. But so far so good. We're out damaging her, and she's gonna start melting really quick. Get a stun off. We're gonna get a couple Nova Flame incinerates, and look at that, like she just went down so fast right there. And we just need her to throw a special. Unfortunately, all those Nova Flames fell off, so there's no more Power Sting. And we're just trying to bait a special too. She's not having it. And I only have a few more taps into the block. There we go. She does tag me. Oh, that hurt. Throw a special 1, get some of the adrenaline heal back. I'm able to dex that. Oh, I end up dying. I end up dying on that one. I don't remember that. I think I just revive him. Yeah, I have a few level 3 revives that are going to be expiring pretty soon. I accidentally claimed the Act 6 compensation a little bit too early, and I think like in 2 or 3 days I'm going to have like 6 or something expire. I'm all capped out, so I wasn't too worried about using a revive or 2, although I should have been able to solo this without any problem. Just scrub play by me. Mess up sometime, right? And so, okay, so she goes down, and then next up we have War Machine. I think War Machine is up next. And we're gonna go use Guillotine 2099. Yep. And so Guillotine 2099 is all charged up. I think I activate a pre-fight, maybe a Hell Steel, maybe a Power Steel, maybe both. I can't remember. Okay, well, there's the Life Steal and the Power Steal. So I won't be able to heal if he happens to tag me and I drop down to 50%, but 15%. But I am going to be doing some Hell Steal and some Power Steal, kind of keep his power in check a little bit. Really, L1s I won't be using because I won't be able to power drain. And then we're just going to melt this guy with some combo, and you'll see that he melts really fast. So if you didn't hear in the background, my daughter was singing. I didn't realize that until a little bit into this, so I just shut the door so we don't have her in the background, but she's having a good old time. So we're going to stick to basically L2s and get a lot of hits, a lot of that energy damage up, And I got clipped trying to dex out at the end of that L1. Definitely don't want to lose my combo. That could be disastrous. But trying to do a lot of medium attacks, and with mediums, get the lifesteal. And you can see like this guy's going down very, very fast. He's at 60% at 153 hits. And I think I get him down in like the next 30 or so. Especially when I got an intercept. So a ton of damage going on right there. And yeah, this guy's starting to melt. Another L2, get a whole bunch of hits. So in the last 20 hits, we got 30%. And we're at 180. Maybe we get up to 200, maybe. He does have a lot of armor, and Fury's up right now. So if you got tagged, it's going to hurt big time. I'm just doing a lot of mediums, do Hellsteel. Look at that 4K energy damage. That is just nuts. And then I'm just trying to make sure that I end with an L3. Not that I'm going to use this check on the boss, but I think I actually end up doing that. But just as protection, like build up the combo, why not end with an L3? So just over 200 hits. So it took about 100 hits to get that War Machine down. Pretty easy. Able to block a lot. I do have the Guardian synergy with me. And it's not just because of the block proficiency. I'm actually going to use Guardian as my main attacker to take down the Electro Luke Cage. Here we're going up against the white Magneto. And yeah, so white Magneto, typically I try to push to L2 just because his specials are the opposite of the regular Magneto, and so like I'm more used to evading L1s. L2s, you know, I can evade those, but man, if you accidentally mistime it, even like some of the block damage on those L2s, which are white Magneto's L1, yeah, it hurts. So as much as possible, I'm trying to push to L2 because those are pretty easy to just get back and then evade that energy beam that he throws at you. And yeah, we got a decent amount of smolders that are starting to build up. And then we gotta just kind of wait out, kind of dash back, stay far away to where those smolders can stick on before he does a mighty charge dash. And yeah, nothing too crazy about this, but you can see like this fight's going pretty quick. We're gonna stun him. I think I'm gonna tap him a few times and then just kind of back off and let those incinerates just kind of go before I let him do a dash in. There we go. And we just need him to throw a special. And Magneto's goes down fast. So both of these Magnetos, they basically should be, you know, the same strategy. Should have used Torch on the first one. But yeah. So if you have a Human Torch does really well for most of the fights in this line. You know, and you can go the opposite route. So either you can have a lot of buffs on, or a lot of debuffs on the defender to trigger the Dold to minimize the terminal velocity power gain. So like, I don't know, like Colossus, Venom, those would be solid options for this line, I think, because you really wouldn't be critting, and you would be able to do decent damage with them. But yeah, basically, if you have buffs, or you can put on a lot of debuffs, I'm sure Nick Fury could do pretty well for a lot of this line. You can get a bunch of bleeds on, and you wouldn't be critting. And here we just gonna melt this guy. He's all done. Barely took any damage. And that's the line. And then we're gonna go up to the boss. And so my plan was to use Guardian. Guardian. Oh no, we have one more fight. One more torch fight. I forgot about Ma. I thought we were done. No. So we're gonna go back in with Torch. Now with Ebony Ma, typically, you know, I'm gonna try to do some heavies to knock him down, turn off his ability that causes you to falter at every like 20 persuasions or whatever they're called. So we break his focus, yeah, so that's what it's called, focus broken. So trying to do some heavies. Basically anytime he blocks the torch blocks one of his hits, though, he builds up smolder, so I'm gonna get quite a bit of smolder going. I do take that fury, so you want to try to get him to throw the L1 as quickly as possible, because the longer he throws that first L1 where he does that automatic degen, the more potent it will be. So yeah, so you definitely want to get that done. So I'm basically, I've taken the degen that is pretty much unavoidable, and then we are going to take this guy out. And one strategy you can do is, well, don't get hit. But I think like right here, I'm gonna get up to 40. I have falter on me now. I could hit him because I can't miss when I'm above 10 temperature. But the other thing that you can do is you can let him get to 99 persuasions, and then after that you won't see falter again. But if you do get hit, you're gonna get wrecked with a massive degen, and then you don't really have to worry about the falter getting activated, and worry about like his timer and knocking him down. You can just play normal. So like right here, I'm just kind of playing pretty slow. I'm watching the timer. We're gonna get our last falter here, and then from here on out, I don't have to knock this guy down. I don't have to worry about the charges, and if I have enough temperature or anything like that, which is really nice. But if you do get hit, if you do mess up, you will get wrecked, because the degen potency is based off of that 20 falter charge things that he's got, and so it will be super potent and you'll be dead in no time. So if you do go this route, just make sure you don't get hit, which is pretty easy. Like I just stick to his L1. It's easy to get back from, and you can counter it, and try to get a double parry in, and hopefully you can connect a stun. I missed it there, and then just kind of keep going. I'm doing a lot of 5-hit combos just to kind of keep his power going, and just keep those L1 cycling where you don't have to block a lot. You can hit into his block and kind of hard block for a second to block bait his heavy, to get some extra openings, and then you can also intercept. It's just, you know, a little more risky. These guys are pretty aggressive though, so the Foresight, you should be able to complete that. I just try to play usually as safe as possible in some of these bigger fights, but because one hit, if he touches me one time, you're dead. But we're able to take this guy out, no problem. We only had 29 smolders, but those are doing what, 700 a tick, pretty decent. Maw goes down, and then the last up is the Guardian attempt on this Luke Cage Electro. Now, my Guardian right here was only rank 4. I have ranked 5 him. Haven't really used him since I've ranked 5 him, except in arena a few times, but I have him at max 6, so he has that max energy resistance. Here I'm looking to see if like who I should swap out on the team, and I think I don't swap out anybody. And now this Luke Cage, he's kind of annoying just because every 10 hits, you're gonna, on that 10th hit, you're gonna get a falter put on you, and basically if you hit him, if you try to hit him, you're gonna miss unless you can bypass it with like a human torch, temperature, or whatever. Oh, I bring in my Daredevil Hell's Kitchen. So I was going through my Twitter feed and I saw somebody say, oh, he works great on this, and to be honest, I was like, oh, maybe I'll throw him on the team. But I really haven't ever fought with Daredevil's Hell Kitchen. I got him from the featured 6-star crystal that was offered on the Cyber Weekend deal, the unit cash deal. Really haven't used him much. I really don't even know how he works. It was kind of a silly move on me. But I was planning on just soloing this guy with Guardian. So while he will still take some of that electro damage, it's super, super minimal. You'll see like it's 30, 31 per hit. 40, it depends on how hard you're hitting him, but 30 to 40 per hit, which isn't too bad. And so my whole strategy here was to get up to L3, throw off a couple L3s, and then smack him down with some big L2s. And I mess up not too far into this match where I think I only get, it's hardly anything if I remember right. And so then I just throw my whole team at him and get some chip damage off, and then I come back in and actually do a reasonable run with Guardian and finish him off, and I do like 200 and something hits. But I wish this guy was rank 5. Would have been a faster fight. This is going to be a long fight, and like my strategy for this is really just to be very, very aware of that combo, because there was times where I think in my other video where I did this guy, I had him with Omega, and I really wasn't sure how that mechanic worked, and I wasn't paying attention at times, and you get to that 10th hit in the combo, and then you go for another one, and then you miss, and he smacks you right back. So like right there, like I really wasn't paying attention as much as I should have, and I almost got tagged. And now he's got a ton of prowess. I think he's gonna get up to like 99 or something like that. And it's unfortunately the falter passive is it is passive. It's not like the Ebony Maw one, because that'd be nice. Every 10 you have that pop up and you get a little bit of willpower off of it, but it is passive. So we're gonna go do an L3, and I can't remember, I think, how many hits are in this guy's L3? Is it gonna trigger the falter coming out of this? He's right at 70 hits, so I should be faltered. Yeah, be interesting to see like if you did that at like 9 hits and you did 2, if it would totally bypass the falter or not. I'm not sure if it would. I have 11 of his charges. I think I'm gonna throw off an L2 fairly shortly. Should have gone in there and punished that L1 for that last hit. And then every once in a while he's gonna get that indestructible because he's Luke Cage. So just be aware that you don't like throw a special when that indestructible is up. We're at 100 hits. We're doing okay, but the damage has not been there. Get another L3, and I think I'm trying to think. I think I throw an L2 off this next one, or maybe I mess up. I know I mess up, but this is going long and slow. He's at 91%. I'm at 81%. So I have not been able to out damage him quite yet, and I'm hoping that I can get to an L2 and get some big damage to where this Guardian will shine and kind of show what he can do. So now I've got 12 of the charges, and and I think at this point I haven't used Guardian a lot, and because you kind of have to wait out those 10th hits, it kind of messes up your rhythm to build up more charges than you would want to, because they kind of fall off after time, and I don't know, maybe I'm doing some. Oh, there we go. I miss keeping track of the falter, and I get smacked all of those hits for like nothing. And so here I'm just going to go in with the rest of my guys. Guillotine 2099 is charged up, so the energy damage that she does is actually pretty good. but like, I'm going to go in with Daredevil's Hell Kitchen, and I know that he can supposedly do this fight. Maybe he needs the Awakening, but I'm hitting. I'm not taking back any damage while he was indestructible, but then I start hitting him, and I do start taking damage back. And I'm like, oh man, this is hurting bad. And I think I get an L1 off. I think. Let's see. Anyways, I know I die. And I think I actually get tags. I'm trying to be somewhat aggressive. I think I needed to stick to the L1 and I didn't. And I stick to the L2 and I get wrecked with a bunch of energy damage when I throw this. Yeah, that was pretty brutal. Yeah, so I think I just you have to get the L1 to get the whatever that debuff is, and then I get tagged. Yeah, so not a good showing. Not a good showing so far. This was like going in with my whole team out of frustration at this point. Guillotine 2099, so that's interesting. She starts off with a falter because she's at 100 combo, so that was really interesting. I probably should have hit him a little bit more while he was in the indestructible and get some more combo and hopefully get some of those degens up, because now when you hit him without the indestructible, I am going to be taking damage back. I am going to be trying to do some L1s because those are non-contact at the end, at least the beam is. Here I'm going to wait, just do one hit, wait out that indestructible, I get another hit, and then I almost get whacked again because I'm not paying attention to the falter. We're going to heal up some, not a ton, because the damage that I'm taking back is quite significant. I think I end up hitting him with an L3, yeah, right before I die, or about to die from energy damage, to get some decent health off of this dude. Let's go 68 to what? 68 to 63%, so 5%, like 30 something thousand. And yeah, we're not gonna last too much longer. But we do actually get a fairly decent chunk off of this guy. 50 hits in, and we did quite a bit. And I end up just dying hitting into the block. So Warlock's gonna go in and not do anything. I'm just gonna skip ahead to when I revive Guardian. I'll just let that play out. But basically I end up figuring that I can get like 2 L3s off, and then I get an L2, and they do a decent chunk, but it wasn't as much damage as I was hoping. And the falter passive, they just kind of, they don't help it to build up multiple L3s without your charges falling off. But he's an option. I do end up taking off the last like 50% with like 200 and something hits, and do a better showing than the first one. So we'll just let that play out, and I'll see you guys at the end. All right, we're about to get to the end. We get to 190 hits. We have 17 of those charges, waiting for the falter passive to fall off. And then we're going to hit him with a big L2 before the indestructible goes. And we got some decent damage on that. I was hoping that would kill him. It doesn't. So we're just going to keep going. And we're really close to knocking this guy out. We just got to make sure that you're always paying attention. And there, that one was interesting. So assassins can cause the falter to fail and not happen. So just be aware of that. I know that happened, I think it happens once or twice. There it happens again. So just be aware that it could or cannot get applied. I think it does get applied on this next one. We're gonna hit him with an L3. I think I just triggered indestructible. So this isn't gonna do any damage, which was dumb. I should have waited. Yeah, it was indestructible. Otherwise that would have done some damage. And there, so I almost got wrecked because I was like, oh, I'm Assassins is gonna bypass it, and it doesn't bypass it every time. So luckily I had him under the stun, but just a few more hits and we'll get this guy down. So this has been 250 hits for about half of this Luke Cage. And here I'm gonna wait, trigger the indestructible, and then hit him with an L2 to finish him off, I believe. And he's dead. So I don't know, to solo him with a rank 4 is probably gonna take 500 hits ish, maybe it could be played better, more energy build up. But Electro Luke Cage is down. Glad to not have to see that guy again. Thanks for watching, fellas, and appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.